Hey guys, in this video we are going to be talking about the songwriting mindset. Many people are frustrated when they go to sit down and they go to write a song and they just can't find the right rhyme scheme, or they can't really put together a meaningful passage of work that will speak to people. And what I have to say is you're not gonna have it right out of the chute. I've been writing songs for, oh gosh, since I was like 6 years old. And when I wrote songs from 6 to age 13, they were terrible. They were really clunky, country-sounding songs. They weren't, evergreen masterpieces, which we'll get into how to write evergreen songs later in this course and in other courses as well. But for now, if you're a new or budding songwriter, I want to take you through the songwriter's mindset. You have to get into the mode of creativity. As a composer and a songwriter, I've fallen into the trap of trying to get a lot of stuff done to achieve a lot of results in a short time, but I've noticed that that does not work in songwriting or composition or any project-based work. Songwriting is an art form. It is a project, and you must treat it as a creative project that needs the nurturing, that needs the time to develop. Sometimes when I write songs, I'll have the first verse or the first chorus of the idea going through my head for months before I will finally get, the rest of the meat of the song. And you have to, it's not really something that you absolutely have to think about all the time. You have to let it come to you in certain instances. I somehow, or in some ways, agree and disagree with the whole you can't just wait for inspiration. No, you have to sit down at your writing space and write and make an attempt to practice every day for at least a few minutes. But out of that, it'll get your mind thinking. It'll get your mind jarred onto songwriting. Okay, what's the next idea that I'm going to put out? What's the next phrase in this story that's going to come up? And so you start practicing writing songs, writing lyrics and music, even though it's not good yet, to sort of stimulate your brain to think of ideas. And the stimulation of your brain in the songwriting realm, or in music writing, any type of music writing, will help you to keep a fresh eye on things, to keep a fresh eye on what you're going to be writing about, and to sort of keep it marinating in the back of your head while you go about your day and doing other things. So it is an art form, it is a mindset, therefore art is given us to enjoy. In order to enjoy our art, there has to be a tremendous amount of patience, like I said, in the process. It's the creative process that gives you the results. You're not going to get results off of, just doing nothing or not practicing. You get results the more you put into it. It's one of those, the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it in time. When you first start writing songs, they will be bad. Case in point, when I was a teenager, I would write, I was influenced by like oldie groups, Neil Diamond, Eagles, Simon and Garfunkel, all those groups. And let's face it, I wanted to sound like them. I wanted to be like them. I would set up the recorder, set up a tape recorder and have a stereo with a tape deck, and I would record the piano stuff on one tape, Then I'd take the other tape and record backing vocals once I had the backing lyrics in. But something about that process really intrigued me from a really early age. And you've got to have that sense of intrigue. You've got to have that sense of, okay, this is going to be fun. Any art that is worth its salt has to be challenging, but it also has to be stimulating and fun enough for your brain to want to do it again. You're going to have to make a regular habit of sitting down and writing. I wrote like hundreds of songs, hundreds of lyrics that I look at them now and I'm like, this is horrible. You can tell I was 12, 13 when I wrote this, and that's just kind of how it goes. You start at a young age, you develop as the years go. And now I've been writing, other types of music for a number of years, and I've gotten pretty darn good at it. But you have to allow yourself the patience and the courage to stick with the ideas and to meld with the ideas so that they will come to fruition. Otherwise, you're just throwing them in the trash. And believe me, I went through a couple times where I ripped up all the lyrics I had and threw them out and then rewrote them later because I wasn't happy with them. That's okay. You're going to go through periods where you feel like you wasted, time or things, but it's valuable practicing time. So starting out, you will need a pen or pencil, some paper. It can either be blank paper or lined paper, or your computer or tablet, and you need patience. You need patience to stick with it while you're developing your idea. Like I said, a lot of my ideas, some of them have taken years to finish. Not just months, but years. Usually it doesn't take that long, but usually it'll take a month or two to get everything past the chorus. It's funny how it works. Sometimes I'll get the chorus in my head before I get anything else. And that chorus will be catchy enough to keep this thought in my head while I go about doing other things. And then all of a sudden I'll be in the piano studio or I'll be in somewhere else and I'll get hallelujah. The verse comes to me. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Because I'll be noodling on it on piano or, humming it to myself. And I'll be like, okay, well, this patch of lyrics goes with this verse. Why don't I try it and see what happens? It's a lot of trial and error. So I would set aside 10 to 15 minutes a day for sketching lyrics and ideas. And there's going to be a lyric section later on in the course that will go into further detail on that. But for right now, set aside the time. This is your action item. Set aside the time. Have a pad of paper, have a pen or pencil or your device, and start just jotting down ideas. And see which ones stick. And then what I challenge you to do is go and take the ones that stick and narrow those down to like 2 or 3 that are in your head, or even 1 or 2. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3. It could be 1 that really sticks in your head. And go with that theme. Go with that whatever you jotted down rather. Just go with that and see where it takes you. It's an adventure. It's not meant to be an exact science. It's not even a science. It's an art. And art by its very nature can be abstract. It could be absolute or it could be abstract, but it's more, about the process and enjoying the process more than actually getting, more than the actual results. That's why composers like us, songwriters, we do this art day in and day out because that's just what we do. And we have trained ourselves to do this, or have been trained, so that we just do this automatically, and that's just, it doesn't happen automatically overnight, but give it some time, and you'll see an improvement. 10 to 15 minutes a day. Practice it, sketch it, and see what you come up with.